Hey guys, Block by Block here. So you probably heard that Bitcoin is risky, but for those who understand Bitcoin, you begin to realize it's actually the least risky thing you can possibly own today. And to, to make this clear, I'm going to give you a little scenario we'll walk through. So imagine you wake up one day and your country's undergone a regime change, and not a simple policy change, you're a new peaceful leader, but you're in a totalitarian regime. And let's say they decide they don't like you. Maybe you posted the wrong thing on Twitter or voted for the wrong person. So let's go down the list and see what happens to your assets. Your bank account is a centralized database controlled by your bank, who is ultimately subservient to whoever's in power. And if they decide to debank you, they can just block access to your account. And you saw this happen with the Canadian trucker protests in 2022, where ordinary citizens who donated even small amounts to Canadian truckers had their bank accounts literally frozen. And there was no criminal charges, there was no proper process or trial. They just blocked their accounts. And you saw the same thing happen with Candace Owens and Kanye West, where for having controversial opinions, JP Morgan Chase debanked them. They literally froze their accounts, tens of millions of dollars. So that's not going to work out too well for you, all your life savings in your bank account. What about your stocks? Surely your stocks are safe. Well, they're not, because you don't actually self-custody your stocks. When you look at your stocks in Robinhood, those aren't actually self-custodied the same way you can self-custody Bitcoin. They're actually held by your brokerage, and every time you want to sell them, you're basically sending a request to your brokerage, hey, can I please sell these stocks that you control for me? And if you, again, become politically unfavorable, the government's just going to say, hey, seize this guy's stocks. And the brokerage will comply. They always do, because they're always compliant to whatever authority makes the rules. So when we get to stuff like gold and silver, right, surely this is a much better option. You know, it's physical, it's scarce, you hold it in your hand, it's secure from wealth. But really think about it. Let's say you need to leave the country. Are you going to take some gold bars in your luggage? Like, good luck getting that through an airport. So I'll give you an example. In Venezuela and Ukraine, when people are trying to flee, a lot of people tried this. They were trying to leave with whatever wealth they could. So they had some, gold bullion or jewelry. And what ended up happening was these people just got routinely robbed and stripped at in different military checkpoints. When they try to cross the border, you have these corrupt guards in this collapsing government, and they don't care. They're just going to rob you. So that never works out too well. And realistically, how much could you take? Assuming you could even take any. So this is where we're left with Bitcoin. Imagine this. Imagine you can move tens of millions, if not billions of dollars by just memorizing 12 words. You don't even need an electronic device. Imagine you can get through any secure military checkpoint, the most advanced secure military checkpoints that put you through an MRI scanner and metal detector or whatever. And you can just seamlessly take this tens of millions of dollars with you by memorizing 12 words. Well, with Bitcoin, this is exactly what you can do. When you self-custody Bitcoin under your own seed phrase, you can take that Bitcoin with you anywhere in the world by just keeping your seed phrase secure. And now if you say, hey man, well, what if I forget the 12 words? Well, there's discrete ways you could transfer this 12 words through a military checkpoint. You could rearrange the words for one, so even if somebody finds them and says, hey, I found your Bitcoin seed phrase, they're not going to be able to access your Bitcoin. Or you can maybe put it in a book, put the words on different pages. You can make a cipher. It's very easy. If you don't want to memorize, there's many other workarounds. So this is the beauty of Bitcoin. For the first time in humanity, people actually have a way to store their wealth and ultimately store their freedom in a censorship-resistant and seizure, oh man, struggled with that, seizure-resistant manner. And not only is Bitcoin impossible to seize, when you want to go transact it, you don't have to go through a middleman. It's a decentralized network, and you have miners and nodes all over the world. So even if tomorrow your country decides to ban Bitcoin mining, ban Bitcoin nodes, there'll be some guy in Singapore who will validate your transaction and add it to the next block. So this is the first time people have this tool. And it really is the only risk-off asset, in my opinion. The fact that it trades like a risk-on asset shows you how the market still hasn't understood what Bitcoin is. And a lot of people say Bitcoin is volatile because it's a $450 trillion asset trading at $2 trillion. And I really agree. So if you're watching this, that's your edge, guys. You're early, and you can really get on this asymmetric opportunity in front of you. So anyways, if you have any controversy with anything I've said here, please leave a comment below. If you like the video, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And this has been Block by Block. I hope you found the video informative, and I will see you next time.